This video is all about AP multiple choice questions. They are different from any multiple choice question you have seen before. Let's take a look at several types of questions. Question type number 1 is vocabulary based. AP questions often ask you to define a word based on how it's used in the sentence. These words are often used differently than you would expect. Let's take a look at an example. In line 19, the word quitting means, your first guess is probably going to be C, giving up. That's typically the definition of quit. However, based on how it's used in this sentence, it could mean any of these other ones. In fact, in this example, it's actually B, leaving. He is quitting someone's presence. The tip for this question is to hold your finger over the word quitting and ask yourself, what word could I replace quitting with? Then check the possible answer choices for the word that is closest to the word you came up with. This will save you a lot of time of reading through the sentence 5 different times, trying to figure out which of these words is what they actually mean. Question type number 2, comprehension. The AP test often has questions about the purpose or meaning behind the passage. The key here is that you have to read the entire passage. This forces you to do that. For example, Mr. Pontellier's attitude toward his companions on Grand Isle could be characterized as, unfortunately, there isn't one tiny little piece of this passage that's going to give this question away. Read the passage before answering the questions. It's the only way to answer comprehension questions. Question type number 3, literary device. A good number of the questions will test your ability to apply, and that's the key word here, literary devices. Knowing the definition and how to spot the examples is key. Let's take a look at an example. Lines 7 and 8 provide an example of apostrophe, doggerel, enjambment, mixed metaphor, or simile. As you can see, this is not a definition-based question, it's application-based. Even if you don't know what a doggerel, comic poem with irregular format, is, you can use process of elimination. If you know that there isn't a simile in the lines, or an apostrophe, which is where they address a dead or absent person, then you can guess between what's left. Question type number 4, grammar. Sadly, there are sometimes questions about grammar. These questions usually involve pronoun antecedent agreement, the noun being referred to by the pronoun, or locating the subject in a really complicated sentence. The grammatical subject of the sentence that begins at line 24 is, and they're going to give you 5 examples. You will need to look all around the line they point you to. The subject may be at the end of the sentence as well. And you notice that this question says the sentence that begins at line 24. In many of these passages, that sentence is going to go on for about 4 or 5 lines. Question type number 5. This is the 1, 2, 3 question. These questions are long and time consuming. They test your stamina as much as your knowledge. The example is this. The poem states or implies which of the following? 1. To a large degree the mother finds the dentist guilty because he's a dentist. Number 2. The jury finds the dentist guilty. 3. The dentist should be found innocent. Then you're going to notice that A, B, C, D, and E are a combination of a variety of these question answers. Use process of elimination. If you can determine that one of these answers is wrong, then that will help you eliminate some of the wrong answers. For example, if I think number 2, the jury finds the dentist guilty, is absolutely wrong, I can cross out B, D, and E. That leaves me 2 to choose from, and that'll quicken your response to this question. Question type number 6 is a line reference. We've already seen a version of this in an earlier question, but this is going to show up in various places, so it's a good idea to look at it. This type forces you to look back at specific pieces of the poem or passage. Line 19 is an address to, and they've given you moon, world, poet, soul, workman, or beloved. The tip here is that you have to look at the lines before and after the line they referred you back to. These extra lines will provide the answer. More times than not, the answer is not in the line number they've given you. So our overall tips for AP style multiple choice. Read the passage. Though you may be tempted, as you would on an SAT or the ACT, to read the question and then go find the answer, for these questions it's not going to be very helpful. Number 2, write on the passage. That booklet they give you is yours. Annotate, make questions, make comments. You'll find that you'll probably notice a lot of the things that they're going to pick up on. Number 3, use process of elimination. With 5 answer choices, the quicker you can get rid of some of the answer choices, the faster you're going to get through the passage. Number 4, when in doubt, guess. There is no penalty for guessing. If you get a question wrong, that's fine. They're not going to take any points away. However, you may guess right on a couple of chances and actually gain some points. And number 5, don't spend too much time on one question. When in doubt, skip it and come back to it. You only have 60 minutes for 55 questions and 4 passages. That's not a lot of time. So do the best you can and move quickly.